Hey everyone. Today, I've got a wild story for you about a little prince who was anything but little. Meet Prince Remils, also known as Prince Blubber, though not to his face, of course. I mean, he was a mountain of a boy whose size was matched only by his appetite. Imagine a 10-year-old who doesn't just take up space, he redefines it. Join me as we dive into the chaotic life of this young royal and see what his future might hold. So, picture this. The royal palace, the grandest place in the kingdom, filled with gold and glory. But our buddy Remils, he's not focused on sitting pretty on a throne or learning to wave to the subjects. Nope, he's busy devouring everything in sight. His parents had high hopes for him. The king, he wanted a noble and wise heir. But little Remils, he thought rules were more like suggestions. Why be good when you can be glorious, right? And oh boy, did he exhibit some behavior. You'd find him playing games with the other kids, but instead of playing tag, he charged like a bull. Catch me if you can, he probably shouted, while they all scrambled for safety. And sharing? Ha! More like a one-way street where Remils was the king of confiscation. His table manners? Non-existent. Picture this. He takes a seat at the banquet table and clears a platter in seconds. No kidding, while other kids had a nibble of roasted pheasant, Remils had a whole feast lined up. Now, let's talk about the king. You could almost see the steam coming out of his ears sometimes. Remils, why must you be so unpleasant? He'd ask with that weary approach that only a parent can perfect. And Remils, he'd just grunt and reach for another pastry. You've got to love how oblivious he was to the royal duties waiting for him. He just didn't get it. One afternoon, everything got a little too chaotic during a game of royal hide-and-seek. Can you guess what happened? Our little prince ended up collapsing right onto a beautiful prize-winning rose bush. The head gardener, Silas, an old man with a heart of gold, decided enough was enough. He approached Remils, trying to instill a lesson. "You are a terrible boy, Remils," he's shaking his head. And Remils? He stuck out his tongue and fired back. "You're a stupid gnome. Go plant more weeds. Talk about dramatic." But here's where it gets interesting. When Silas mentioned the word king, it hit Remils in a way that nothing else had before. He paused, tart in midair, a newfound spark in his eyes. "Maybe I will be a terrible king," he rumbled, with a sly smile creeping across his face. And it wasn't the kind of smile you want to see on a future ruler. It was more like a predator spotting its dinner. Now, let's think about what this means moving forward. Imagine a king who's more into indulgence and chaos than wisdom and kindness. Yikes. The kingdom better be ready for a wild ride. You can bet there'd be parties with too much food, mismatched decorum, and perhaps a trail of mischief following him everywhere. Sometimes all that power can bring out the worst in a person if it's not paired with responsibility. All right, let's lighten the mood a bit. Here's a little joke for you. Why did the king go to the bakery? Because he wanted to get his crown of pastries. Classic, right? I bet Remils would have devoured the whole bakery without sharing a crumb. So, what do you think? Are we looking at a future filled with chaos or the making of an unorthodox ruler? Prince Remils, with his blend of gluttony and dominance, is set to leave an interesting mark on his kingdom. It's kind of like a test for us all. What does true leadership really mean? Is it all about power, or is it about the responsibility that comes with it? If you like this little dive into the life of Prince Blubber, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. I want to hear from you too. What kind of king do you think Remils will become? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, keep dreaming big and munching on those pastries. Bye for now.